The hate of the feminine is to me the deepest wound of this world. This is the biggest problem in this world. The feminine has been under attack for the longest time. And yes, I really insist on the feminine. I'm not saying women. I don't mean women. I mean the feminine energy. Vulnerability, sensitivity, sensuality, all things in motion. This has been clearly demonized, ridiculed for the longest time, and you can't deny this. I'm talking about the feminine energy, because the feminine energy is God, literally. And I insist on the feminine energy and not women, because the feminine energy exists in everybody, in men and in women. Everybody holds masculine and feminine energy. But for some mysterious reasons, this world is at war with the feminine energy. God, literally. These things, being sensitive, being in tune with your emotions, being vulnerable. I'm not even going to talk about being sensual, because that's even worse. These things are hated in this world. They are considered whether demonic, wrong, or just so ridiculous, pathetic, embarrassing. And it's interesting to explore, that mysterious hate toward being that. Clearly, the masculine has always been considered, what everyone should be. Assertive, physically strong, in action, aggressive. But being sweet, being soft, being kind, being sensitive, crying, this society is phobic of these things. And to me, this is the biggest problem of this world. Until we sit down seriously with this, everything will keep happening the way it is, and we will still be living in a world of chaos. Because the people who are the most disconnected from their feminine energy are men. We also live in a society that loves to play this competition game, where you compare everything and create a hierarchy of what's the best with everything, which to me is a huge toxic trait of the human race, wanting to constantly compare everything with one another and select which one is the best, who is the winner, who is the loser with everything. And because for the longest time, physical strength was considered a huge skill, a huge advantage, because we are coming from cavemen, we had to hunt to survive. Physical strength, physical skills are still in the subconscious collective considered something way more important than being sensitive. Obviously, these things, being sensitive, being vulnerable, were completely useless in times of survival. So I think we subconsciously keep perceiving physical strength, a person that is tall, that is strong, as something way superior than anything else. But we have evolved. We are an evolved species now, and what we need to understand is to stop comparing things with one another. There is nothing to compare with feminine and masculine. They are just two energies. These energies are perfectly equal, and saying that the masculine is strong and so this makes the feminine weak is a dumb reasoning. It's literally like saying the sun is stronger than the moon, or fire is stronger than water. There is just nothing to compare. They are two completely different energies. They don't operate on the same fields. They don't do the same things. They are just completely different. We really need to stop wanting to compare things. They are complementary, and they are both as powerful as one another. It's not a competition. And more importantly, these two energies exist in every one of us. I think this is something very deep, because it's really deep. We really need to go very, very deep within ourselves to understand that, to profoundly sit with the truth that the feminine is not inferior, is not less powerful, and stop trying to create a relation or competition between these two energies, because there is nothing to compare. It's comparing mathematics with poetry. It's just not the same thing. There is nothing they can compete with anyway. They don't operate on the same fields. A little wink to the Olympic Games, it would be like comparing people running to people swimming. It's just not the same discipline. They're just not doing the same thing. Or tennis with basketball, not the same thing. There is nothing to compare. Two different disciplines, two different sports, both excellent, both doing amazing jobs in their own fields. And what we fail to understand is that the masculine and the feminine are both powerful energies, very powerful in their own fields. And the key is to master both, not to dismiss one because it's embarrassing. You're dismissing a part of yourself when you do that. But here in this world, the feminine clearly is demonized. To me, it's even worse than demonized. There is a profound fear of it. It's like something so embarrassing that nobody wants to be that. It's something less, it's something inferior. something embarrassing to be. It's literally lava. No one wants to be that. No one wants to touch it. But the people who are the most afraid of it are men, for sure. Let's dive into this real quick. Men are terrified of the feminine. Being feminine in the slightest way to them means being inferior. It means downgrading to being an inferior being. That's what it means to them subconsciously. And sometimes women be supporting that and they don't even realize it. Men have been conditioned to stay away from anything feminine, from emotionally to just your artistic expression of that, to the way you dress, to anything. Society has contributed to that a lot, let's be honest. But there is a profound psychosis in men of just touching the feminine just a little bit. They don't want to touch that with a stick. They're staying away from that energy like it got COVID. And I mean, that is weird. That doesn't make sense to me. When you really sit down with it, this is weird. This doesn't make sense. It's awkward. Okay, they have been really conditioned and pushed to be disgusted by it. Okay, the slightest attempt of a man to be sensitive, everyone stops and looks at it. It's embarrassing. The guy is already jumping like, no, I'm not that. That's not what just happened. That's not what you think. There is a shame, a profound shame of being in that energy, being sensitive, allowing your emotions to exist, first of all, to flow through you, to cry. When you look at women and the range of possibility that we have in just the way we dress, just that, the freedom that we have to dress however we want. Today, in 2024, we can dress however we want. We can explore our masculine, our feminine. One day I feel like being super feminine. One day I feel like being masculine. I could cut my hair very short. No one would care. No one would even pay attention. Okay? Men are not allowed to do that. They are condemned to wear pants and a shirt, and that's it. Men are terrified to be called gay. Like, this is the worst thing that could happen to them, is to be called that. I want to take a minute to talk about this, because seriously now, can we talk about how normalized it has been to call people gay as an insult? Can we talk about how weird that is? And again, I want to insist on the fact that this is a male thing, because women don't do that. Women don't care. I've never had a girl calling me lesbian as an insult, first of all. And if I'm ever taken for a gay person, if people assume of me that I'm gay, I could not care less. I don't give a damn. There is nothing insulting about that. I don't care. I just don't care. But for a man, it's worse than shooting him in the face with a rifle. It's worse than that. And why is that? Well, in the subconscious collective, in the male subconscious collective, being gay clearly means being a woman. Clearly. In their eyes, being gay, even those who claim to be open-minded, not homophobic and all, let's be honest, like the majority of male have been conditioned to be homophobic, to be profoundly, to me, it's not even homophobia, they are misogynist. That's what they've been conditioned to be, and by extension, obviously they're going to have a problem with gay people, gay men especially. And in the subconscious collective of most men, being gay, especially when you're feminine, it means you're not a man anymore. To them, you're not a guy, you're not a man anymore. They don't see you like that. They're like ejecting them from being a man. And if you're not a man, you're a woman. So when these guys call each other gay, what they say is woman. We are literally being insulted here. This is us that they insult. They use being a woman as an insult. And gay is like an extension of that. It's a man that lost his manhood, that lost, his identity of being a man and downgraded to be a woman. This is a weird, ignorant mixing of many misconceptions that they did here, which is to associate the feminine itself, the feminine energy itself, to women, which is what most people do, right? Pink dresses, makeup, and all these things are associated with women, and really it doesn't belong to us. Being feminine does not mean being a woman. But in the subconscious collective of many, that's what it means. So when men see a guy that is feminine, they just associate that with being a woman, and they start calling each other gay, which is fucked up. Let's just make it clear. I don't understand how in 2024 it's still normal to many people on Instagram, on many social media, to have guys, because it's always guys screaming gay, gay every time a man is being slightly sensitive, is being slightly feminine in his energy. Like, what the seriously, so much is wrong about this. First of all, calling someone gay because a man is being feminine, it means he's gay. First of all, weird misconception here, and using that as an insult, second of all. But more importantly, basically calling them women. So it's women that you consider an insult. It's me that you're insulting. You're saying, oh my god, you're a woman. You're a woman. Why are you insulting me? Why are you insulting me? Why do women keep being insulted, considered something insulting to be their worst nightmare? The psychosis of men is to be a woman, basically. That's not offending at all. Not at all. That's not offending. To me, it is undeniable that men have to sit with themselves and explore their mysterious hate for us women, for the feminine energy, because really that's what it is, but they associate it with women, and so we take the hit. But truly, it's themselves that they hate. It's a part of themselves, because everybody has feminine energy, and they have to make peace with that and perceive this energy as something potent, something powerful. God, because that's what it is. It's God. The feminine energy is God. It is the closest you can be to God when you stand in your feminine power. When you're being sensitive, when you're being vulnerable, you can be closer to God in your sensuality, and all of these things has been demonized. Coincidence? I don't know. It's important to note that we've all been conditioned, women too, myself as well. I had to dive within myself to understand, to meet my inner misogynist and realize, oh my God, I also have this perception of the feminine as something small, something ridiculous, something I don't want to be. And it's something that many women, when they see that energy in men, they feel repelled. This is so deep, guys. This is the deepest wound of this world, is failing to see God within ourselves. When we see that energy expressing in a man, being sensitive, being sweet, being, kind, there is this weird, ew, you're not manly enough, you're being inferior, don't be like that, don't be in that energy, it's inferior. Even women think like that. A lot of women think like that, and they don't realize that they are insulting themselves. They are basically saying, oh, don't behave like a woman. That's embarrassing for you. That's embarrassing. I don't want to date a girl. Like, okay, even if you don't want to date a girl, please realize that what you're saying is so misogynist. Like, please realize that. You are perceiving yourself as an inferior being, and you don't want to see that energy in a man. This is very deep. When I sat down with this, I realized so much about my own behavior, my own relationships, what was lacking in them. I was lacking a balance between my energies. So many programming, so much hate for the feminine, so much hate for the feminine energy. It takes a huge work on oneself to profoundly undo the shame, that's pathetic to be like that. It's embarrassing to be that. And to seriously start stepping into realizing, oh my God, okay, we have been lied to and injected the belief that this was miserable, pathetic, embarrassing, humiliating to be in God energy. When you think like that, it helps a lot. It helps stepping out of that behavior. It really helps. So to me, the biggest problem of this world is the imbalance of the feminine masculine, but more importantly, the profound hate, the dedication to disrespect, to hate, to diminish, to ridicule, to destroy the feminine energy that is God, literally. And this has been happening through men. And so men are not the enemy. They are not evil. It's not like that. There is definitely a force that is operating on earth. So many people have different interpretation of what it is, what it's doing. I don't want to dive into this. But one thing's for sure is that there is a force operating on earth, spreading chaos, attacking the feminine, attacking God. And it's doing so through men. Basically, men have been instrumentalized, turned into walking deads to spread that fear, chaos, war, sense of danger, constant attack. Anyone who wants to deny this, I'm so confused. Like, how can you deny that men are at war with the feminine in every possible ways? Anything feminine, they hate it. They just don't want to have anything to do with this. There is an obsession for it, fascination for it. Of course, because that's a part of you that you hate and love and hate and love, and there is a big, profound problem within them that they need to sit down with. Seriously, they need to make peace with their inner feminine. And it will all start within realizing, changing their perception of that energy and stop perceiving it as something inferior, but something as potent as the masculine, if not even more, to be honest. This energy, the feminine energy, the energy of creation, inferior? The energy of creation, inferior. Okay, sure. Makes sense to me too. Sure. Whatever is spreading chaos on earth, it's using men to do that. They are blinded and conditioned and programmed in every possible way. Fixing this is the key to everything to me. I have so much more to say about how this energy is operating, how we are being attacked, and how to fight it. But I'm going to stop here for today. There's too much wind anyway. I hope the sound will be fine, and too much noise. So I'm going to stop here for today. But thank you so much for listening to everything. We got this, Reclaim your power, reclaim your feminine power. This is where the peace lies. Okay, I'm going to leave you here. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this content, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.